Keeping up with AI is like trying to drink from a fire hose, isn't it?
Right.
It feels like every day there's some new model or breakthrough or
That's a lot. Yeah,
yeah, and it's tough to even know where to start. So we're going to do that for you.
exactly.
Yeah, we've been going through a ton of recent AI updates, new model announcements, research papers, discussions in the community, all that to try and bring you the most important stuff.
The need to know information without all the noise.
Absolutely. So this is like a curated AI briefing for you. We'll hit the highlights, the things that are actually worth paying attention to and why.
Yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, first up is OpenAI.
Of course.
Yeah, they've got everyone buzzing again with this new GPT-4o.
Right. Now, we don't have all the details yet, but early reports are suggesting it's a pretty big step forward, like in terms of following instructions, solving really complex problems, and just overall creativity.
Seems like they're really pushing the boundaries of what these models can do. Yeah, and the image generation capabilities are getting a lot of attention too.
Right.
But, with that comes the whole conversation about, how to balance that creative freedom with
That's responsible use, right?
yeah, exactly. How do you make sure these powerful tools are being used for good?
It's an ongoing discussion for
Yeah,
sure.
right, for sure. Now, another model that's been making waves is DeepSeek V30324.
Oh, yeah, that one's impressive.
Yeah, it's apparently been outperforming some of the big names on the benchmarks.
Like Gemini 2.0 Pro, even Claude 3.7 Sonnet.
Yeah. And it's available on Hugging Face, which is
Makes it pretty accessible.
yeah, definitely makes it easier for people to get their hands on it.
Yeah, and I saw some interesting discussion on our local llama, actually. Apparently it even beat Claude 3.7 on LiveBench.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, but there were a few users mentioning some potential issues with hallucinations.
That's interesting. I mean, it seems like that's a trade-off you often see.
Right, pushing for better performance sometimes means sacrificing a little accuracy.
Yeah. Now, Google's not been sitting still either. They've been busy with Gemini.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that Gemini 2.5 Pro is really strong for coding,
Yeah, I've heard that too.
and Gemini 3 is now easier to deploy on Google Cloud Vertex AI.
Which is great news for developers.
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, Gemma 3 can now understand images and handle longer text sequences
And Takes Gemma's doing some really cool stuff with predicting molecule properties.
so it seems like we're seeing a trend here towards more specialized AI, designed for specific fields.
Definitely. I mean, we have these powerful general models, but then we're also seeing this branching out into very specific applications.
Right. Now, going back to Gemini for a sec, while 2.5 Pro is popular, some users have been reporting rate limit issues.
Yeah, I've seen those complaints too.
But even with that, it seems like user preference is leaning towards it over...
Over Claude 3.5 Sonnet.
yeah.
Yeah.
And QuinChat's QVQ Max has also been generating some buzz.
Right. It shows that it's not just about raw power. Practical limitations can really impact the user experience.
Exactly. Now, switching gears a bit, let's talk about AI safety.
Right.
Anthropic's been doing some really interesting work in this area. They're putting a lot of effort into understanding how their models actually function, which I think is crucial.
Yeah, that interpretability research is so important.
Right, and they've actually started releasing data sets based on anonymized Claude usage data.
Oh, wow. That's great for the research community.
Yeah, definitely. There's also a lot of discussion happening more broadly about the direction of AI safety efforts, with some people expressing concerns about the intensity and the focus of these efforts.
It's good to have those diverse perspectives. It's a complex issue, and we need to be careful about stifling innovation while trying to address potential risks.
Yeah, striking that balance is really important. Now let's move on to developer tools. There's been some key updates there as well.
Okay, what's new?
So LangChain now has better support for monitoring and debugging, which is
Which can be a lifesaver.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Llama Cloud seems like it's becoming a sort of central hub for managing AI models.
Yeah, it's got potential as an MCP server.
Right, yeah. And Cohere's Command A is being optimized for more complex tasks like agentic stuff, and it's getting better at handling multiple languages too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And even the Keras homepage got a refresh, which is nice.
Yeah, it's good to see these tools getting more user-friendly.
Absolutely. These improvements in the developer ecosystem are really key for making advanced AI more accessible to
To everyone, yeah.
yeah, exactly.
So what's really capturing attention right now? Generative AI and
Yeah, and those Studio Ghibli style images.
oh, those are amazing.
Aren't they?
Yeah. They've become super popular since that GPT-4 release. And I think it sparked some interesting discussions about, you know, our reliance on these models and the distinction between those who are building them and those who are primarily using the tools that are already out there.
Right, that whole builder versus user conversation.
Yeah, it raises some important questions about, value and contribution in the AI space.
Absolutely.
Plus, apparently, all this demand for image generation is putting a real strain on the hardware powering ChatGPT.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, it's interesting to see how these creative tools are pushing the limits of our infrastructure.
Yeah, it speaks to their accessibility, but also to the huge demand in the resources required.
Right. Now, in the world of local AI, Unsloth has released some updates to make models run more efficiently.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah, there's a new technique called dynamic quantization, and there's a new notebook for Orpheus, which is that text-to-speech system.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. LM Studio has added some controls for using multiple graphics cards, which can really boost performance. And
And Ader's got a new command for navigating code within those local models.
yeah, the context command, it's pretty handy.
It seems like local AI is really starting to take off.
Yeah, it's really exciting to see more people able to experiment with and develop AI applications on their own hardware.
It's democratizing access,
Mhm.
which is fantastic.
Absolutely. Okay, just a few other quick things to mention. There's been some news about the Alan Turing Institute. Apparently, they've had some layoffs.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. ByteDance has also open sourced their DAPO reinforcement learning system.
Oh, interesting. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, and researchers are starting to look into the challenges of what they call catastrophic overtraining.
Right, where LLMs start to forget old information during pre-training.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really dynamic field with a lot of moving parts.
Absolutely. It never gets boring.
No, not at all. So what are your big takeaways from all this?
Well, I think it's clear that we're seeing some really rapid advancements in what AI models can do.
Right.
But at the same time, we're having these really important discussions about safety, about the practicalities of using these tools.
Yeah.
And
And the open source community is growing like crazy.
yeah, it's amazing to see the progress there
Yeah.
and how much more accessible AI development is becoming,
Right. It's definitely a fascinating time to be following this field.
to say the least.
Yeah. So for you listening, as AI gets more and more powerful and easier to access, it kind of raises a fundamental question. What new responsibilities and creative possibility are opening up, and what challenges will we face in navigating this new landscape of information and creation?
It's a lot to think about.
Yeah. But that's AI for you, always pushing the boundaries.
Always something new to
But
explore.
yeah. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Absolutely. It was fun.
Yeah. Until next time.
See you then.